Alright, so let's recap here really quick. We're at the end of part 2, and Cloud's mind is all messed up. Nobody trusts him. Aerith is probably dead, and Sephiroth is waiting for us at the Northern Crater. But we've seen this play out before. You give the Black Materia to Sephiroth, he summons Meteor, a bunch of crazy shit happens, you fight and beat Sephiroth, and you save planet from the Meteor. But if you've watched Advent Children, you know that Sephiroth doesn't really stay dead. He lives on in the Lifestream out of pure hatred, and this will go on to cause Geostigma and all the weird 3 kids in Advent Children and the remake thing and a lot of yada yada. But things are different in the remake timeline. We have a blank white materia, multiple universes, and actually, yeah, that's the most important part actually. We know that Sephiroth in our timeline is bad, but the real villain is Omni Sephiroth, the one that can travel through the multiverse. He poses the greatest threat of them all. And if things end up how I think they're gonna go down, this could mean not just the end of Final Fantasy VII, but the end of Sephiroth himself. Now, first thing we need to do is understand Omni Sephiroth, and in order to do that, we have to understand sequel theory. Long story short, sequel theory is exactly what it sounds like, that the FF7 Remake series is actually just a sequel to the original Final Fantasy VII. Now, to go over in a bit more depth, the theory basically goes that Sephiroth in FF7 Remake is not the Sephiroth from this timeline. Rather, he is the original Sephiroth from the PlayStation 1 game, who has been able to travel through time from inside the Lifestream, and he ended up here with the knowledge of what happened before to try and change the past so he can achieve his goal. And I'm not saying that, the Sephiroth from that timeline is not there. Sephiroth is still at the Northern Crater, he's frozen. But the Sephiroth we see throughout the game is not our Sephiroth. That is Omni Sephiroth. That's why he wants you to kill the Whispers, because now that they're gone, he has control of the Whispers, and by that notion, fate itself. And Omni Sephiroth is the one in control now. He's able to travel through different universes and different timelines, and he's able to change them however he wants. So obviously, the Sephiroth we're dealing with is way more ambitious and is probably the most dangerous villain in the Final Fantasy VII universe. So now that we have an idea of the villain we are dealing with, we have to deal with another issue, the white materia. Now, besides the materia that Omni Aerith gives to Cloud, the white materia that we currently have is blank. Now, this wouldn't be a problem since we gave the full one to the Aerith in our timeline, but something tells me that it won't work like it did last time. Even in original Final Fantasy VII, Holy alone was not enough to stop the meteor, and the Lifestream itself needed to help stop it. And now we're dealing with an even more powerful Sephiroth and a Cloud that is so far gone and not in his right mind that he can make even more mistakes. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Well, we have to turn to what is, to most people, the most important part of the original Final Fantasy VII. The Lifestream sequence. Now, let's go over some things right now. The white materia is empty because the Whispers took away Aerith's memories that once filled it, which means that the white materia is powered by the memories of the user. So how is this going to relate to the Lifestream sequence at all? Well, we're gonna use that sequence to fill the white materia with Cloud's memories instead of Aerith's. As Tifa starts to help Cloud remember who he really is, those memories are not just gonna return to Cloud, but they're gonna fill up the white materia and possibly superpower it. Now, I want to do a whole video on that scene in particular because it's going to be extremely important to the FF7 Remake series. Even though it's way important in the original, it's gonna have probably an even bigger impact in part 3. Now, you may be asking, but only a Cetra can use the white materia and Aerith is dead. Allegedly, as far as we know. Well, I'm glad you asked. Since this is all taking place in the Lifestream, I have a sneaking suspicion Omni Aerith may show up somehow. Now, I know I may be stretching here, but I do think in at least one way or another, Omni Aerith is going to show up and take the white materia after it's filled with Cloud's memories, because this whole game has these undertones of like Omni Aerith and Omni Sephiroth in this like 5D chess match against each other, since they all know basically everything and what's gonna happen. But this just makes a bunch of sense to me. Now that we have all of that set up, what do I think will be the ultimate ending to the game? Well, like I said before, it will have to lead to the death of Sephiroth. And I'm not just talking about him dying and being stuck in the Lifestream like last time. They need to kill him in such a way where he cannot return. Like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, even after the end of Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth was able to live on in the Lifestream out of pure hatred and spite. What type of hater do you have to be that angry, bro? He is the... Bro, people want to talk about crash out this, crash out that. Sephiroth was the original crash out, bro. He found out who his mom was and he burned the village, bro. Tell me that is not a D1 crash out. Side tangent over. Even after the end of OG7, he went on in Advent Children to release Geostigma that would lead to a bunch of sickness and eventually the extinction of the human race at the end of Final Fantasy VII OG, as we can see in the last cutscene. And if they just kill him in Remake, what's stopping him from just doing the same thing over again? So I think in order for the game to end on a note where everything is resolved and we're just not stuck in this infinite loop, Cloud has to find a way to kill Sephiroth where every ounce of remnant is gone. And that's where the white materia comes in. With the power of Aerith's white materia and Cloud's white materia, Omni Aerith will find a way not just to kill, but to completely erase Sephiroth. And if they really want to hit the player in the guts, they will have to sacrifice Omni Aerith as well. And I feel like that's just a fitting ending, because you can't just have the villain permanently end without some great sacrifice, right? Even in the original, Aerith's sacrifice in the original was to summon Holy. So I feel like in this game, if they want to match that level of like sacrifice, they're going to have to remove Aerith from the Lifestream along with Sephiroth so that both of them cease to exist. And I just feel like doing all that will bring this ultimate finality to the FF7 Remake Trilogy and to the Final Fantasy VII series as a whole. Nomura has stated that this game will probably be his last Final Fantasy VII game due to his old age, and he wants, this game to end off on a satisfying note because this game is his baby. And he said multiple times that he wants this game to have a satisfying ending to his characters with no loose ends. And I feel like killing off the main villain permanently will be the best way to do it. Also, this is something I just thought of right now. I think they also have to resolve the multiple universes. I don't think that they can split forever because that's Sephiroth's goal. He wants to merge all of the universes to control them all into one. And they can't keep them separate because you see what's happening in Zack's timeline. It's presumed to be the end of the world. So what I think they have to do is dissolve all of the universes back into one. They have to keep the original timeline that we're playing in, but all of the alternate timelines that occurred because of the killing of the Whispers have to go, because they're disrupting with all the other timelines, and those existences are affecting everything around them. And we can even see this with Cloud, because he's starting to see, I don't know if that's just him being crazy or if that's actually him seeing the rift, but it's starting to affect all of the other universes. So I think they're gonna have to solve that issue by dissolving all the other universes and keeping one. Now, do I think they're gonna kill off Sephiroth? At least in the mainline series, I hope so. In side things, I think they're gonna bullshit their way, because like, there's no way they're gonna get rid of Sephiroth forever. And he is the video game villain. When you think of video game villains, you think of maybe Bowser, Ganondorf, and Sephiroth. He's like iconic, so I don't think they would flat out get rid of him. But in like canon FF7, I think he's gone, because that just makes the most sense to me. And it was kind of assumed that Final Fantasy VII OG was a bad ending, with everybody being dead 500 years later besides Nanaki and his kids. And I'm hoping that Final Fantasy VII Remake will be the good ending. And that's all I gotta say for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below what you guys think. How do you think the Remake Trilogy is going to end? I think I have a pretty clear shot. I know there's some loose holes here and there. I might be stretching in some parts, but I think for the most part, I think or from what I'm seeing and what I can predict from the next part of the game, there's a pretty good shot that this is how it ends. And I think they're going to include Zack in there somehow. If they do include Zack, I think he's going to be the stand-in for Cloud when he's suffering from Mako poisoning and Tifa's with him. And I guess when they resolve the issue, Zack is going to go back to, being dead. which I think is going to happen. I think he's going to have to go back to being dead. But yeah, that's all of my predictions and what I think is going to happen. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, turn notifications. Again, I'd always appreciate if you guys, support the Final Fantasy VII videos. It seems like you guys are enjoying the content a bit more, so I'm gonna try to upload a bit more. I want to make a video on, like I said, the live stream event, and just Tifa and like a bunch of characters. So look forward to those in the future. But that's all I've got to say. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.